Hey guys, I'm Nadia Vanilla. I'm an artist and I've got some things on my mind. This is a piece of writing that was supposed to be a blog article on my website, but I really think that video is probably a better avenue for this. I like being able to talk face to face with you. So if I'm looking at my notes right now, that's what's going on. They are just down below. So I am referring back to them. This isn't an off the cuff speech. I, for one, think that it's a good idea to think about what you're gonna say before you say it. I don't know. Okay, so I really hate writing about and making art about politics. I'm also a terrified liberal woman who thinks about politics all the time, and a passionate creator who also thinks about art all the time. The contradiction lives in my head like it does for so many of my fellow artists. The content of my art isn't political, or at least it's just like our bodies and our private sex lives. They are politicized, but they didn't ask to be. Our gender orientations and identities were never supposed to be a topic of conversation for a bunch of old white men in DC. Yes, not all men. No, it's not all old white men. But it is by and large people that are not representing me, myself. Our ability to express our sexuality freely, safely, and with consenting adult partners of our choosing, honestly, that's really not something that should be politicized. My decision to choose when and if I have children, honestly, that's got zero things to do with anyone who claims to represent me in Washington. It's a personal choice, not a political choice. But these things have been seized by power-hungry politicians, and it just so happens to be the topic of my art. I make art about people inside their private spaces where they get to invite people. It's not supposed to be political, but I guess if my government's going to make my subject political, then I'll go ahead and give them something to talk about. Heads up, folks, if it wasn't clear already. I make art with nudity, sex, and even kink. I will always tag my not safe for work stuff as such. That's NSFW for those of you who aren't typically looking at naked people while on public computers. And anything that might be hard for you to look at, I'll blur out or I'll put behind a wall of some sort. But that's what I make. There's likely to be a lot more of it in the coming months because when I feel like someone's trying to silence me, I get stubborn and loud. I'm really sick of thinking about whether my art will make waves. It's art. It's supposed to. And I'm saying that not because anybody in my personal life is trying to push me to make something else, but because I myself worry about what can go out into the world. Like, oh, is this going to be something that's going to cause a problem for anybody that might see it? And the fact is it probably will. But that's not my aim. My aim is just to put stuff out there. You know, that's what I do. But here's the thing. If I can't get my message through clearly enough in the art itself, I'm putting it into words here, right now with the intention of being thoroughly understood, okay? I believe that as long as everyone is an adult, able to thoroughly consent, and accepts the risks of whatever they're up to, they should be free to do it. These things that make us unique, those are absolutely 100% things to celebrate, not to attempt to dilute. We shouldn't be trying to make laws that make us all the same, because in the first place we're never going to be all the same, and in the second place, why would we even want that, honestly? I think someone's gender identity, preferences, orientation, looks, and everything else about a person's sexual identity should be in the control of that person and that person alone. It is wrong to attempt to legislate trans people out of existence. It is wrong to stand in the way of two people who choose to be together regardless of what's going on under their clothes. And it is arrogant and paternalistic to decide for a woman what kinds of medical care she has access to solely because of personal feelings of people who have nothing to do with that medical care. My art isn't supposed to be political, but at this point, by virtue of it being art about identity, sexuality, and personal choices, I guess it is. So I'm using my humble platform to say this. On Tuesday, you need to vote. If you're in the United States, you need to vote. please. And in the meantime, have an awesome weekend, and if you're in Phoenix, tell me what First Friday shows I should be hitting up. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon, friends.